Hello, today I will be doing my first ever book haul video. I just turned 25 this past month and for my birthday every year I like to buy myself a birthday present. I also just got a new bookshelf. Not like other booktubers, I'm worse. I don't have a fancy bookshelf for my background, which most of you guys have like absolutely beautiful dream bookshelves. I'm so envious of it and also very embarrassed to show my own. I had just one small bookshelf for a long time and I've been cramming books on their sides and just on the ground for the past few months, so I finally just decided it was time to get a second one and I set it up. I just haven't organized my books yet. So that's why you guys have never seen my bookshelf. Also, I don't think we're quite there yet. We don't know each other well enough for you to see that. So that being said, I thought it would be a perfect excuse to spend some money on some books I've been wanting for a really long time. This first one I have been wanting for such a long time. I am so excited to finally get my hands on it. It is, yes, ladies and gentlemen, The Prince's First Kiss, a rhetorical investigation of the implied reader in the fourth gospel. Like, holy shit, I can't believe I'm actually holding this in my hands for once. Yeah, obviously that is a joke. I got sent this book accidentally. It is a Society of Biblical Literature dissertation studies. I like to think whoever had to pack my bookshop order looked at the other items I ordered and decided that I needed Jesus and sent me this instead. It probably isn't that deep. People make mistakes. It happens. I still absolutely stan bookshop.com, but it is funny that I got this instead. I don't think I'm gonna read it though. I'm sorry. It's probably just gonna get donated. But what I actually ordered was a book I've been wanting since it came out earlier this year, and that is Alyx, an AI's Guide to Love and Murder by Brent A. Harris. Just the title alone, holy shit, that is such a good title, and it tells so much what to expect from the book. I really like stories about AIs, and this one is about a house AI who starts to take control of their inhabitants' life. I feel like it has a lot of application to current life with how technological houses have become and all these fancy gadgets you can get for your house, but also I'm a little suspicious of it. As convenient as it sounds, there is this level of suspicion that comes with it, and I think Harris is probably going to explore that a little bit in the book. It also is under the bisexual category in Bookshop, so I'm definitely interested in seeing the sexuality aspect of the book. And also Brent A. Harris is one of the authors I've discovered from Simultaneous Times podcast, so I already know that I like his writing. Usually he writes alternate history, so this definitely is a different subgenre of science fiction for him, and I'm really excited to see what he does with it. Can't wait to actually have the physical book in my hands. Not gonna lie, I was a little bit sad when I opened up the package and it wasn't this book. Next I got Ancillary Justice by Leckie. I feel like a fake space opera fan for having not owned this yet, but better late than never. This book also explores the concept of AI. This one is more about an AI getting a human body, which is kind of a pet peeve of mine in science fiction when writers depict AIs as wanting to be human and wanting to have a very humanoid body. I don't think this is exactly going to follow the usual storyline with that I really dislike, so that's why I'm a little interested in. So that's why I'm definitely interested in this read and seeing what she does with that concept. Also, I just really like Leckie. I went to a virtual book reading with her and like she was just so like humble and down to earth despite the fact that like she's like this huge name in space opera, and like I kind of fell in love with her. She's so sweet. The next book I bought on the actual day of release, and I didn't intend to do that, but it was kind of dope anyway. It's The Echo Wife by Gailey. I first got introduced to this author while listening to one of the new podcasts I've been really into. It's called Our Opinions Are Correct, and it's with one of my favorite authors, Charlie Jane Anders, with her partner, Annalie Newitz, and they talk about various media tropes, dissecting them, and seeing the multiple sides of them. In the most recent episode, Sarah Gailey was a guest, and I just really liked what they had to say, so I wanted to check out their work. And ironically, while looking through their work, because I'm like, well, obviously they had to have published more than just The Echo Wife. They also wrote Upright Woman Wanted, which was on my TBR and like TBG to be got list for a really long time. But I was holding out on it because I don't really like hardcover books that much, but I finally got impatient of waiting for this to come out in paperback, and I also threw it in my cart and got it, so kind of spoiler for what my next book I'm gonna talk about is. But anyway, The Echo Wife is about a woman scientist who created a clone of herself, and her husband ends up having an affair with this clone. The husband ends up dying of mysterious circumstances, and both the wife and the clone work together to cover up his disappearance, which makes me think that his death is a little sus, and I'm really curious to see what happens in it. And as I mentioned before, I also threw in this book by Sarah Gailey, Upright Woman Wanted. Definitely just wanted a slight change of pace. I'm hoping to get that with this more Western set book. I think it's also technically sci-fi, and I'm wondering how all I really know about it is that there's cowgirls and I think they're lesbians, and that's all I really needed to know about it to want it, so looking forward to it. My last pick also came out this year. Yesterday is History by Kosoko Jackson. The author is a gay black man, and the book is about a gay black man. What I find most interesting about it is this is a book about time travel, specifically into the past, which is kind of a hostile subgenre of sci-fi toward marginalized people. Obviously, the concept of going back in time isn't as exciting when you are an identity that would be targeted more in the past. So I'm definitely curious how the author is going to reconcile having a gay black man as the lead and going into the past. And this is Jackson's debut book, so I'm really looking forward to diving into it, and I look forward to see more from him in the future. That sums up my book haul video. I'm definitely going to do more of these because I love treating myself to books. Despite the mix up with Bookshop, still gonna push them as usual. They're a really good option for supporting independent bookstores, especially if you can't leave your house or your local independent bookstore isn't yet open.